Do you believe me if I tell you that vegetarian meatballs are better than real meatballs? This recipe has been around for 100 years, and if you've never eaten it before, this is your chance not to miss it. Ingredients: 400 grams of grated Pecorino cheese. Yes, you can use Parmigiano Reggiano if you want. You can use another type of grated cheese if you want, but Pecorino, you need that kick from the Pecorino, so try to use Pecorino. 3 or 4 slices of Italian bread or sourdough bread, 4 eggs, 2 generous tablespoons of breadcrumbs, a bunch of chopped parsley, sunflower oil. For the tomato sauce we need 1 clove of garlic, a small bunch of basil, a bottle of Italian passata, extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper. Ah, my favorite smell. I wish someone made a perfume that smells like Pecorino. Oh, Pecorino perfume. Beautiful smell. Let's start with the Pecorino. Now with your hands just break this Pecorino apart, let's break that. Let's make this super fine and grated. Great job. Now let's put the breadcrumbs, let's put the parsley. Now get a bowl with some water. We're going to immerse the bread in there. Just wet the bread. Hopefully you have a stale bread, which is even better. But if you have fresh bread, it's still okay. The crust is still a bit too hard, so I want to make sure it gets nice and soft. Like in meatballs, bread is the secret to have moist meatballs. In this case, cheese balls. Bread is very important. It plays a very important role. All right, now I get the bread out and squeeze it. Squeeze all the water out. Now break the bread in the mix. Bread is very important, guys, because it combines all the ingredients together and it will allow us to create the cheese balls. Last but not least, we need the eggs. So break the 4 eggs inside. 1. There you go with the eggs. You don't need to add any salt because Pecorino is very salty, okay? If you use the cheese and it's not that salty, maybe you can add salt, but you don't need to. I'm gonna take my ring off. It's time to mix. Oh, this is the best part. This is fun. Yeah, look at that. Squash the eggs. You want to mix this until it kind of turns into a Play-Doh. Just pretend the cheese is the flour. So when you see the cheese disappearing, you know you've done the job. Yes, you can use stand mixers, but you miss the fun if you use a stand mixer. 100 years ago, I didn't have stand mixers. And look, I've been making this recipe since I was a little kid. Never, ever in my life, I used a stand mixer. Look how easy it is. You need to feel the food. All right, guys, can you see here we have the beautiful mix? It's a little bit sticky, but that's okay. But this is a giant cheese ball. Get a tray with baking paper, which is where we're going to rest the cheese balls. Now get some water. You need some water on your hands. Get some water. Make sure your palms are nice and wet. And make the balls. You choose the size that you want, okay? I'll try to make them not too big, but seriously, you can choose the size of your balls. Yeah, this is pretty much the size of a ping pong or maybe golf ball size. But if you make them bigger, nothing wrong with it. It's very important to have your hands moist, wet. See? This is how easy it is to make a beautiful cheese balls. What you can do now is, let's say you want to use only half of them for dinner. Great, use them. Whatever is left here, put them in the freezer. On the tray, in the freezer, and when they freeze, you put them in a Ziploc bag. In the future, when you want to eat them, you just take it out of the bag and straight into the frying oil. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make the tomato sauce for this And at the same time, we're gonna fry them in sunflower oil. So let's make the tomato sauce. Let's put a generous amount of extra virgin olive oil. In the old days, they used to use a lot of extra virgin olive oil. Add a little splash of water before the oil gets hot. And let's crush the garlic. Or you can just grate it with a grater. Now we cook the garlic for about 30 seconds or until it becomes golden. We're cooking the sauce on a low heat. The garlic is nice and golden. We don't want to burn it, okay? Now we add the passata. For this recipe, please don't put any water inside, okay? Don't clean the bottle with water. I just want pure tomatoes in here. Now what we do, we let this beautiful sauce cook. Guys, I just want to use a different pan for this because it looks better in the video. So let me transfer everything into this frying pan. Just for aesthetic reasons, I just prefer to have this copper pan for this recipe. I just find it more old school. I try to use more of a deep pan. So when I put the cheese ball inside, they have more space to dance. Now let's cook the sauce on a low heat for about 20 minutes. You don't need more than that. We need to fry the cheese balls now. So put a generous amount of sunflower oil. Fill up at least half of the pot so the balls can be immersed. In the old days, these cheese balls used to be fried in the extra virgin olive oil. You can still do it. And don't trust people that say you can't fry in extra virgin olive oil. Yes, you can. And the only thing with extra virgin olive oil is once you use it for frying, you cannot reuse the oil. It has to be thrown out. With this oil instead, sunflower oil, you can reuse it for frying again and again and again. Perfect frying temperature for these cheese balls is 150 Celsius degree. But if you don't have a thermometer, which I don't, just use a toothpick, put it inside, and if you have bubbles around the toothpick, it means the oil is ready. Gently put one in. Great. When I fry this, I try to have a maximum of 5 cheese balls at a time. I just don't want the oil to get too cold. If you find the oil to be too aggressive, just put it down. Find the oil a bit aggressive today, but that's okay. Now we don't want to move it around because I don't want to kind of break the ball. What we do at the moment, let it cook for at least a minute before we start moving them around, okay? But this process should take about 2 to 3 minutes or until the cheese balls become kind of golden brown. All right, guys, it's been about 2 minutes. Let's have a look how the cheese ball looks. See, kind of golden brown. Look, it's been about 2 minutes, and look how they look. See, it's golden brown. Got a little bit of puffs on the side here, which is pretty good. Let's do another maybe 30 seconds. I just want to make sure we have a nice cooked crust and the inside also cooks. Don't forget an important step. We're going to finish them off in the tomato sauce. So yes, they're going to be crunchy now, and you can eat them crunchy. But when we put them in the tomato sauce, we lose the crunchiness. But we're going to add flavors with the tomato sauce because they will absorb the tomatoes. Oh, make sure you get a bowl and paper towel to rest the fried cheese balls. Look how crunchy they are. Listen to the crunch. Look at the inside. Cooked to perfection. Nice and moist. Just the way we want it. Look at that. These Pecorino cheese balls are beautiful to be eaten right now when they're nice and hot. Just like that. Crunchy, cheesy, beautiful. If they get cold, not enjoyable anymore. So my recommendation is to have some now when it's nice and hot, and then the rest go in the tomato sauce. When you put them in the sauce, you kind of can leave it in the fridge for 2 or 3 days, so you got leftovers, you got food for the next 2 or 3 days. If you put it in the fridge like that without tomato sauce, unfortunately they would dry up and they won't be pleasant anymore. The cheese balls are ready, so we have to finalize the tomato sauce before we add them in. Okay, so what we want to do now, put the salt, as much as you like, put pepper, as much as you like, and let's break the basil into the sauce. The reason why we do the basil now is so we release the flavors right now. If you cook the basil in the sauce for too long, you kind of kill the basil. And now we can add the cheese balls in the tomato. So when you do this, you lose the crunchiness of the cheese balls, but trust me, you're gonna add a lot more flavors to these cheese balls. Is we make sure that the sauce and the balls, they make love together, okay? So we turn them around. You don't need too much sauce. 1 bottle of passata is enough. But if you want to use more sauce, use 2 bottles of passata, and the leftover sauce can be used to make a pasta. Trust me, it will be full of flavors. We don't want to be too aggressive with the heat, okay? Now what we want to do, we want to leave them in the sauce for about 10 minutes. You don't need more than that. The cheese balls will absorb the sauce gently, and that's what you want, a gentle process. Ladies and gentlemen, our cheese balls are ready to be served. How easy was this? I want to show you how easy it is now to break these cheese balls. Look, I'm gonna get this one with the fork. Just have to go like this. It breaks easily. The middle part is nice and cooked. You got a beautiful now outside full of flavors from the tomatoes. The inside is full of flavors from the cheese. Let's eat it. What are you waiting for? Go and make it right now. Cheesy, saucy. Once you eat this, you will forget about the meatballs. Meatless Mondays and never tasted so good. Amazing. Amazing. Guys, I don't have time to talk anymore. I really need to eat them right now. So good. So, thank you so much for watching this episode. Please make it. Do yourself a favor. Do your family and friends a favor. Introduce them to this because such a beautiful recipe cannot be missed, okay? See you in the next Vincenzo's Plate video recipe. E ora si mangia the cheese balls that you need in your life.